Hey everybody, it's me, Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm going to do a quick walk around here of the 2017 Mazda 6, which I personally think is, without question and without peer, the most attractive car in the mid-sized sedan segment, 20K-ish range. A lot of cars in this class. Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Ford Fusion, Nissan Altima, but to my eye, this thing is the looker of the bunch. I think this thing stacks up favorably to cars that cost $50,000, $60,000 and more. You may disagree, but I think this is just a damn fine looking car. A real nice looking piece of automotive horseflesh. Now, here's the sad thing about the 6. It no longer has a 6. Some of you who are Mazda people may already know about this, but Mazda pulled the V6 from the options roster from this car, and it now only comes with a 4-cylinder engine. And the reason for that has to do with the corporate average fuel economy thing. And the reason for that is that Mazda does not make or sell many of these cars relative to the big players in the segment. Mazda's a pretty small volume manufacturer. They only sell about 3,500 of these every month, and to give you some sense of perspective and scale, Toyota sells about 30,000 to 35,000 Camrys every single month. So in 1 month, Toyota sells more cars, more Camrys, than Mazda sells of the 6 in a year, and that becomes important when you start to do the cafe math. When you sell a handful of V6s among 30,000 plus cars, the effect on your corporate average fuel economy is going to be negligible, or at least bearable, because you're moving so many cars with the 4-cylinder engine, which is the majority of production. But when you're only selling 3,500 cars a month, let's say 10% of those have the V6, and the V6 gets, say, 6 or 7 miles per gallon worse than the 4, well, the math then isn't so favorable, and it really starts to hit your corporate average fuel economy number, and then the government hits the manufacturer with gas guzzler fines, which are passed on to the buyer, and that makes it harder for Mazda to make money. So that's the reason why the 6 is gone from the lineup. But there is good news, and that good news is that the car still comes standard with a manual transmission. Most of the cars in this segment now are automatic only. One of the few that still does offer a manual is the Honda Accord, but you can't get the manual with the V6. And by the way, next year, 2018, the V6 is disappearing from the Accord as well. It's going to be replaced by, guess what, another turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. They're also putting a 10-speed automatic in that thing. God help us. And that's another thing, incidentally. The automatic in this car, the optional automatic, is a conventional 6-speed automatic. It's not a CVT, and it's not a 10-speed automatic. So it's relatively straightforward, relatively simple, probably will last the life of the car, and if it does croak on you, the cost to replace it isn't going to kill the car. Whereas these 10-speed automatics that they're putting in the cars nowadays, again, for fuel economy reasons, one of those things croaks on you, you're probably going to be looking at a bill in the range of $5,000 or more, and that's no joke. This car is also, I think, one of the nicest looking on the inside. Just very stylish and slick. It's got a floating LCD touchscreen, which you can see there in the center stack, that is similar to what you'd find in a Mercedes or a BMW. Very attractively laid out main cluster. Their mouse system, which I'll talk about in my review, is a little bit clunky to use, but good looks, manual transmission, costs less than the others up front, as much as several $1,000s less, in fact, than some. That's about $2,000 less to start than a Toyota Camry, and I like the Camry. I like the Camry a lot, but the Camry is pretty much a family car. It's set up to be soft and quiet. This thing actually is for people who like to drive. Mazda's Zoom Zoom slogan is not BS. This is for people who like to drive as opposed to just sit behind the wheel. Anyway, I will have more up at EP Autos shortly, hopefully in the next day or so. And if you go there now, you'll see my latest rant, which has to do with this business of automated versus autonomous cars, and the push by both the industry and people in Congress to make an exemption for them from currently applicable federal safety regulations, once again showing that the object of these people is not our safety, except when it suits them. The real object, in my opinion, is and always has been money and control of us by them. Anyway, thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.